So what are the big haircut trends then? Let's talk about those. Let's go through. There's a few.
Well, yeah. So the first topic of tonight's podcast is going to be haircut trends and the biggest haircut trends predicted by Glamour magazine. And I suppose Glamour magazine is a real big magazine. I don't know if it's global, but
yeah, it is global. I think.
Yeah. We wanted to delve into some spaces where you guys would probably get inspiration and bring it into the salon. So we want to bring it to you and discuss it with you, really. So with these trends, is it something that's going to be big? Is it something that you're going to see coming into the salons and also give you inspiration and us inspiration for doing some videos for haircuts? So let's bring it up. The first one is Cub Cut. And I love the name.
Yeah, Cub Cut's amazing. Yeah. So it's basically like a shorter wolf cut.
Yeah.
But again, it's a kind of a mullety feel. She's beautiful, though, right? This model.
Well, yeah, and the color on it as well. We're going to talk colors in a bit, but the color on Asian hair. So she must obviously be level 1, 2, 3, or 4, and to get that, it's beautiful.
Yes, it is stunning. And she's got it in the golden hour as well with the picture on the lighting's really good. But the shape is really I think that this shape is really going to be massive for people with shorter hair. I've seen a lot of it. I don't know if you've seen Sophia Hilton recently. She just had a haircut by Dove Palmer. Have you seen that haircut?
Live. Yeah.
It's not a dissimilar look to that. Only Dove has left her with a longer fringe. So the actual technique is the same about the sectioning pattern. The actual haircutting, but Dove Palmer and Sophia Hilton basically left out the front hairline and then hand sort of connected that, with a disconnection. But it's almost identical haircut other than the long fringe. I actually love it with the longer fringe, but that one there, that Cub Cut on that particular model looks awesome. And again, that's down to suitability, isn't it? She can really, she can take that short shape,
But talking about that, so coming a client bringing this picture into the salon, I can imagine that will get hashtagged and tagged as a mullet. So what would you say differentiates it, or is it just basically a new name?
I think it's basically a new name, but I think actually with a haircut like this, it's the technical aspect of it. I think that there's a massive technical aspect to that haircut. Same with this one, and there's a formula. There's almost like a pattern you follow. And how I explained it to my customer recently. Actually, I got a customer, but I'm editing it at the moment. I think I sent you a still of it, which is a similar look, but it's a bit longer. And I was talking to her, and I said about hairdressers cut to patterns.
Yeah,
and it's all about the pattern. A bit like a dressmaker. If a dressmaker's cut a certain pattern, then a hairdresser do the same thing. You can adapt that pattern to different shapes, so you can cut it in a square, triangular, or round shape. But the pattern of the hair, of the section, of the sections where you've put them out, and then how you follow that pattern around, that's how you get continuity in your work. Excuse me. And so that's one of the big things. And this is what these haircuts do. They follow a pattern. You can use different lengths, different textures, and I think that's amazing how it works. But, the Cub Cut, I actually love the name. It's like a wolf cut. It's a shorter wolf cut, which makes it cheeky. And call it Cub Cut. That's really quite cool. I like that.
Yeah. And Mark's just said they've got the magazine in America, so that's cool. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Louis just jumped on and said, "Hey guys,
hi, how are you doing?"
I was talking to Louis. Louis, is it Louis or Louis?
Louis, I would say.
Yeah, I would say Louis.
I could be wrong.
I know, because of the S.
Yeah, I got a friend who spells it the same way, and they call him Lewis. So he actually plays for rugby for Wales. Lewis Samet. But the commentators keep on calling him Louis, and his mum and dad always says Lewis.
Yeah, it's because obviously in the UK it's Lewis for Lewis. But yeah, I mean, as well, it can be spelt that way. Cool, but with Lewis, we were talking on Instagram the other week, and he's got really, obviously you can see in the picture, really nice long hair, and he just put in a bit of a bangs.
Right, it's Louis. It's short for Louis.
It's
Yeah,
Louis.
perfect. Yeah, Louis.
Cool.
Like it, love it. That's like my friend. He's Louis. He spells the same, but he says Lewis, so it's cool. So yeah, what do you say about his haircut? Those haircuts
so
are
he's got really,
mullets.
yeah, those haircuts are both
I agree.
mullets.
They are mullets, but I actually think that when you say a mullet to a client, it can actually give them like a real old-fashioned connotation. They think of Mick Jagger, or they think of like Chrissy Hines or something. But actually, when you say like a cub cut, and then you talk it through, it actually gives you another point of reference, which I think is really cool. That's a good way to do it, I think.
There you go. On her Instagram, yes, it's a mullet. Deal with it.
Yeah, I love it. It is a mullet, but cub cut sounds better, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And a haircut that never goes out of fashion, box bob. You had a really cool name for it. You were telling me earlier.
Yeah, well, there's a trend at the moment. They say they call it the bubble bob,
and that's just how it sort of fits the head.
Yeah,
I take it one length like a bubble.
Finishes around the jawline, and they actually put a little bit of graduation to soften to round the edges off at the back, keeping the front heavy. So it's just a bit of graduation. They call it the bubble bob. I love this. They call it the box bob. I love that length. For me, that's perfect, beautiful, and you can really look at that. That's just dressed out beautifully, isn't it?
Yeah,
super and cool. Look how simple that is. Bit of mousse, bit of gel, a couple of clips, combed into shape. It just suits that look, And again, a great looking girl. But actually, I always say when I was talking to my assistants and training them, I still think sorry, start again. So to cut the bob really well, you have to know your way around a haircut. It's one of the most difficult things to get right, I think.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever been in the supermarket and you look behind something with a bob, and you can just see there's a hole behind the ear, or it's uneven, or the graduation's off, or it's the hardest haircut to make perfect. You cut the square shape on a round head. It's one of the most difficult. It's one of the most simple looking, but it's not easy. No way.
No.
Put in the curly fringe. Says Louis.
Yeah. Louis put a curly fringe in, and it looks really cool.
Cool.
Talking about curly hair, the curly bob, one of your favorites?
Yeah, I love texture and love curl. I think I fell in love with curl because my mum had curly hair, and that's why I learned cutting hair. I was on curly hair, and I've just permed one of my clients' hair to look just like this, actually.
Yeah,
and I love that texture. And Lisa and I, my wife, we've been out today with the kids. We were just down by and she was talking about, maybe I should have a perm, and this would be perfect for her. I think it would be really cool to do something like this with texture, just because it's so easy, and you still have to work with it. You have to put an effort into it, That's stacked out at graduation, beautiful. So yeah, curly bobs, curly wolf cuts. Are perms popular in the UK? Mark is asking. Great question. Thank you.
Great question.
They're not popular, but they're becoming more fashionable now. I've seen more lately than I've seen in the last 15 years. So they are becoming quite a thing to give texture and to add body and to give people that kind of lived-in look. So they are becoming, what do you say, Paul? Same in your salon?
Yeah, we're doing loads of perms, mate.
Cool.
Especially on guys. We're doing loads on guys. And on Saturday, one of my ladies, I had a son in last Saturday, and there was a guy having a perm, and she said to me this Saturday, she was like, "Oh, he's growing up. He wants his hair a little bit longer, but it's poker straight. He can't do anything with it." And he's seen someone having a perm, and he's really interested. I said, "Yeah, like go for it. Just what people don't want. Well, what they need to understand is you don't need to do a full-on perm all the way through rodded. You could do an inch, leave an inch, do an inch, leave an inch to start to create this sort of inbuilt texture in hair." So
back in the day, we used to do weave perms.
Yeah.
So you would take a section, you weave it out, then you would perm half of the section.
Yeah.
And you would do a weave and you left it out. It would create like a more. Do you remember? Oh, what were they called? It was a band. Oh, they sang Love Cats. What were they called? The Cure. There was something like back to me now, but he had kind of like, and that was like that was a weaved perm, which he had.
Yeah.
So he was giving a lot of body at the root, but the straighter pieces were sticking out through it all,
Yeah.
I think it was the Cure. It was the Cure.
Was it?
Love Cat. Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Guys getting perms trending. Yeah. Same here, Mark. I think our guys tapping into perms. It is becoming a thing.
And Mark I think Mark's still in Chicago. He's specialized in curly hair.
Wow.
Where he's working now. So yeah, his Instagram is really nice to see all like for curly inspiration. So really cool. But this next trend is lots of layers.
It was the Cure. I just checked on Google. It was the Cure.
Was it? And this is one thing I just want to touch on, because we're looking at it from your perspective, not a hairdresser, more like a client. But this trend being like lots of layers, like there's going to be structure to that haircut, but do you think you would describe that as lots of layers
on that picture there?
Yeah.
No, I just think that's kind of a round layer, isn't it? All the way around. You almost a uniform layer. It's a uniform layer. I think it's a uniform layer, but it's left longer. You have to leave it longer. You have to give it some sort of weight. If you cut as a proper proper layered haircut, it would go into a fro, wouldn't it? Like a proper, shaft fro. Like something from way back when.
You wouldn't be getting that parting down the middle.
Yeah. I love that type of texture anyway. We talked about this in lockdown, didn't we? About dealing with more like Afro-Caribbean hair, that type of stuff.
Yeah, remember? And do you remember we did that video and we pulled it after 7 minutes?
Yeah.
I was talking about that the other day. How weird's that?
Yeah. It's a bit controversial, wasn't it?
It was a bit controversial. And somebody said to me, he actually said he was a client and sitting in the chair. He's in the fashion industry. And he was saying, no, I get it completely. But obviously what he was saying, what we noticed or realized is we're not the authority to discuss that right now.
No, we have an opinion, but we don't think we have the authority on it. And I think you've got to be authentic and stick to what you know.
Yeah.
I don't like having to comment to things I don't know much about. I'd rather say, I'd leave that somebody else.
Well, we did know a lot about it, because it was a case of that we wanted Afro hair to be really inclusive in the MBQ system, and how there's an Afro hairdresser of the year, but there's a British hairdresser of the year, and it should just be one. If everything wants to be inclusive, that's what we were sort of talking about, and there should just be hairdresser of the year. Rick Roberts wins Afro hairdresser of the year a lot. He could be in the British hairdressing. He could be British hairdresser of the year for doing Afro hair.
Yeah,
so
it should be separate.
And
I think but it's Sophia Hilton saying that is all over that at the moment. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she's got all her staff now trained in Afro hair.
Yeah,
she's done it just over the last couple of weeks actually.
Yeah,
and she's making a big thing around on socials, which is fantastic. But
it is,
like, we were talking about 2 years ago in the same vein, really. Remember?
Yeah, we were, and but again, we realised that we weren't the authority to really make a stand, but we're supporting it.
Yeah.
But just look at this haircut here. This is lots of layers, isn't it? This is like the butterfly haircut that's going about at the minute.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But again, beautiful model, really suitable. Yeah, it's just it's really well done. That's a really well executed shapes. It's face framing. I actually love that.
The fringe is lovely on her.
Fringe is beautiful. She needs that fringe, that short with her features. To be honest,
definitely.
Any longer would just worse. But she looks dead good, lovely with that. And a lot of layers, a lot of over direction for that.
Yeah.
So that's really
right.
Cool.
Another name.
Curve cut. Yeah, which is kind of the butterfly haircut, really, isn't it?
Yeah, again, and there's like name Dom Seeley. He did the Joyco Defy Damage with me.
Yeah.
But the curve cut, I suppose, is a modern day Rachel butterfly cut. Again, it's what forward graduation, long graduation.
It's kind of a long breeze. We used to call it a breeze back in the day. It's a long breeze, basically. Again, depending on the over directions, how much layers you put in it, and how much disconnection you want to use. Yeah. Beautiful model. Curve cut. What do you think is going to be the strongest out of these?
Probably the curve cut. I don't know what is going on with this window now.
Do you think? I think younger people are getting more bold with their hair.
Well, they are, but if we're
I see a lot more like the little cub cuts and all that with those. I think a lot of these like teens who are going into 20s now, they become into tweens. They kind of they don't want to have the long glam stuff. They want to have the fashion stuff. And I think it's changed, like I think the way that they view themselves is a bit edgier. Culturally, everything's changing. I think less Kardashians now, I think,
Yeah, so definitely. But again, it's regional.
I think it's more for me, it's more fashion forward now. And I think we're seeing a lot more. Well, I'm definitely seeing more of those type of haircuts anyway,
Yeah, but you're in a city, aren't you? Like I'm in a little market town.
Yeah. Pixie crops. Yeah. See a lot of that. And that's what I mean. I think these there's kind of the early 20-somethings, this is what they do they express themselves more, I think there's maybe out of frustration, maybe out of like boredom. You see a lot more of that, Oh, Breitling. Are we going to be sponsored by Breitling?
Yeah, they're in the post, I think.
They said it's on each. Yeah,
I think it's the adverts that are playing havoc with the images loading.
Yeah. Beautiful that.
Yeah.
Great haircut. Super nice. Yeah, that's big graduation, big layers, big equal layers, forever. Really nice.
There's Lauren.
Who's that?
She Bruno's just used her for British.
Yeah,
I think used her last year, yeah. But she was one of the models for Alpha Italia as well.
Oh right, she's beautiful.
Yeah, really good model.
Lovely colour, beautiful haircut.
Yeah, James Earnshaw, he cut her hair off from long to short, and she's been blonde, she's been pink, I think she's been blue.
Nice, very nice. Cool haircut.
Really cool haircut.
Oh, now that's a bit of me, that.
Yeah.
That, yeah. I like that really undone, less styled version,
Yeah.
Love that. It's a beautiful
Naughty
shape.
bangs when it starts to come in.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, these are still massive. Been doing these for a while.
Yeah. But again, I think with trends, once these adverts load, we'll get the image properly. But I think what happens is, because we look so far ahead at things, we've been doing these fringes and everything for so long that Glamour magazine are just saying that it's big now. This is the thing. It becomes a bit of a salon staple 2 years down the line, but then we're already looking at the next thing.
The next thing, yeah. True. Yeah, and I think, they got a point. And I think that I wouldn't say, again, when you start, all hairdressers, not just us, a lot of hairdressers, as you see a lot of these type of shapes and fringes, and they don't really focus on that because their hair's up.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really say it's a nice kind of grown out fringe. That's kind of almost a curtain bang type of thing, heavy, but it looks really cool. Same here, yeah. Again, with an updo, isn't it? It's pulling that front out with the updo.
Yeah.
Face framing, opening up the areas where you need to open up. So there's a lot of things going on there. But again, nothing brand new there, I don't think. And
no.
I don't really think it's a trend per se. I just think that's what people are doing with their hair these days.
Yeah.
So, but I do think it's going to be, that's kind of an ongoing theme. I definitely love the cub cut, massive. box bob's never going to go away. You know, that the curve, well, that long breeze, yeah, still doing loads of that. Or, you know, the butterfly haircut, really. That's how I would frame that.